Hey there, I'm Amy with crazybeautiful.com, and I promised you a couple bonus projects with the August paper pumpkin. So let's get started. We are first going to make this card here. It has a strawberry slush card base, and I basically just used one card from the paper pumpkin kit. Instead of making this into a card, I'm going to make it into 4 cards. So go ahead and take your paper trimmer, and we're just going to cut it at 2 inches. Now this will make 2 for this side and 2 for this side, with a 1/2 inch in the middle where the score line is, and I will show you we're even going to use that. So this is like frugal stamping today. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut them all. Just so I'm going to cut that at 4 and that at 4 1/4 and 4. So then I'm going to go back to 2. Okay, so here's your pieces. I'm going to use all of those pieces. And this, we are going to adhere to the card, but let me show you how I fringed it with my scissors. You know, when you use these scissors, it cuts kind of unevenly. So you can see like the center has gone a little bit further in. So what I'm actually going to do with several of these around the corners and around the edges here is just do the smallest little snip in. Okay, so I'm going all the way into my scissors because that's where it gets the better cut. If you cut like this at the tip, it will rip the little end where it's cutting. So you don't want to do that. So you're just gonna start in, and we're just gonna do a tiny bit. Okay, and we can move over about the width each time that it's cutting. So right here, teeny tiny cut. We're going to come back, and you can overlap, so just let the scissors kind of nest into that one and overlap it a tiny little bit, and I'm just going to go back to cutting my approximate 1/2 inch. Now at the corner you can see I've held it out there. I'm going to come in and just do a little bit of a snip. So the whole corner I've left about 1/4 inch around on both sides. Now this, I'm going to come in and I'm going to start right about here. Sorry if you can't see that exactly. So I'm just going to, like I said before, kind of let your scissors nest into that one that you've started cutting, and then we're going to continue on. So just keep making sure that you're parallel, I guess perpendicular to the edge, that it's still going straight. And again, here I'm going to stop short of the corner, and when I turn, I'm going to go there about 1/4 inch and just the tiniest bit of snip. If you go too far, you're going to start cutting stuff off all over the place. So we can always come back with our paper snips, and oh, see, I almost got right there. So you're just going to cut the teeniest tiny little bit there. And it's really just for effect, this side here where you're cutting. And I'm not even going to go there because the width of my scissors would cut all the way to the edge. So I'm just going to skip that and start in about the same place as I did on the other edges. Each time I move my scissors, I kind of make sure I'm aligned. I'm a little bit off here, so I'm going to adjust it right there. So make sure you're nice and perpendicular to the edge as you finish out your snipping. Okay, now I'm not going to keep going here because my width again will get me too close to that corner. So I'm going to come back with my paper snips, and I'm going to go about the same distance that that was making. And as I get close to the corner, I'm just going to kind of fake it like that. Okay, so I'm going to do this corner. You can even come in at the corner first and then maybe just come back and do a couple snips. And feel free to, you know, make any little line a tiny bit longer if you would like. So like here, I'm going to just extend these a tiny bit. And as I go around here, I'm not going to mess with that too much. The effect will still be there even if these tiny little ones aren't cut in so much, but we don't want to rip out that side of our card. So there you go. It adds a really nice effect. If you want to ink the edges, that looks really cool too. Just take your ink pad and rub it around. I'm not going to do that. I think it's got enough going on. So use some dimensionals and adhere that to your card. And then for the other one, I'm going to do a thanks because I can always use thanks cards. And my Hello Honey ink. Just a reminder, when you're stamping, you want to completely stamp off. If you go off the edge like that, remember you've only used half of the ink, so you might want to stamp off so that you don't have another little dot that's only got half of the ink. And to get the effect that it looks like it's kind of raining, you want to just keep your dark dots up near the top, and as you go down, get lighter. And you can even do more dots near the top. There you go. Okay. And if you want, we're going to stamp a tag here. This one says, "You are seriously amazing." This kit comes with a lot of extra stuff, so make sure you utilize all of your parts and pieces. And we're just going to pop that on with dimensionals. So again, the only thing you want to keep in mind, I'm not going to show you how to adhere this all together. You want to make sure where you're going to put that piece covers your whole die cut. So it may not be the center of your card. It might be a little bit higher. So just kind of approximately make sure it's covered, and then center it on your card. And then that's where I would then go back, kind of keep that in place, and line this up with your grid paper. So adhere that down, pop that up with the dimensionals. I showed you in my first video for the paper pumpkin how to cut these pieces apart and then reattach them as you glue it back together. So if you missed that, make sure to go back and watch it. And I will do my little bonus project that I promised you. I'm going to use one of the mini guys and make a little tag. Mini guys, I guess it's a mini card. And so to do that, I'm just going to take and add a tiny bit of this Tombow adhesive around the edge. Remember, a little goes a long way. And you really just want to make sure it covers up the heart. So I snipped around the edges of this, just little teeny snips like I did around the other card. And then I'm going to show you a nice little trick for putting this together. So I'm going to take my hole punch and I'm going to put a hole in the corner of that. And then I'm going to just do, I folded this bag, and I'm just going to tie a bow around like that. And then I'm just going to take another little guy and tie it through. So there's no need to try to make that all happen out of one piece. Thank you for joining me. And make sure to catch the last video on 2 more cards with the paper pumpkin. Thanks.